Hey guys, so I'm trying a new thing, recording on YouTube, so like on the app itself instead of like recording it off my phone. YouTube is just like recording, if that makes sense. So I am driving back and I am stuck in traffic. My hair looks terrible, you guys. I don't know what to do about it anymore. I just want to like shave it all off. I can just see like all the damage, and I just see like where my hair is like falling out. I'm obsessing over it. I have to stop. But here's something I want to try. I want to tell you guys what happened to me the other night. I had a, what is it called? A night terror. And I know I was going to sit down and like, my plan was I was going to sit down and record it off my computer. But why not do it in a car vlog? Let me tell you guys about it. And it's just so weird. Like, so I was sleeping and I woke myself up, or at least I thought I was awake. I'm not even sure. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever experienced a night terror. And I woke up and I was screaming bloody murder, like really, really, really loud. And I can tell you, it was the most terrifying experience of my life. Like, I've never felt more scared in my life. And in my mind, someone, and I'm not even sure if it was a person or if it was like a demon or like the devil, but someone who, and it was definitely like a male figure, but it was like all black, like an all black shadow. And it was over my bed. Like, I couldn't tell whether he was standing or he was kind of like arched over, but I could just see it, and I knew he wasn't supposed to be there. And I was screaming, and my husband wakes up and he's like, he looks around and he goes, Savannah, 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 you know, what? And in my mind, I was talking and I was saying, you know, look, don't you see, like, look. And I start like moving my feet, trying to kick this thing. Like, I was trying to kick it like with my feet, but my feet are like trapped underneath like the covers. But in my mind, I was gonna kick the shit as I'm still screaming, but I was gonna try to kick the shit out of this thing, this entity, right? And it was so scary, and I'm like kicking as hard as I can. And in my mind, and I think in my sleep mind, I was kicking really hard, and Justin is like screaming at me. He's like, stop, you're kicking Rigby. Rigby is my wired hair fox terrier who's about like 20 pounds, and he's my boy. He follows me around everywhere. He tries to please me. He loves me. He's my first dog that I actually went out and I got as an adult. And you guys, I still couldn't, like, in my mind, I didn't stop kicking because I still thought it was like this thing. And I finally snapped out of it, and I guess I looked at my husband and I thought we had a conversation. Like, I was like, what's going on? Feel my heart, like my heart is racing so fast. But my husband said I just like looked at him and gave him the like the weird stare, you know, like the I'm possessed stare, and I just went back to sleep. But in my dream, or I thought in reality, so it's weird. I thought I was awake, but I wasn't. I was sleeping. But in my sleep kind of like mind, I thought me and my husband had a conversation, and I had said like, you know, I must have been dreaming. I swear I saw like, you know, this man or this like demon like lurking over our bed. You feel my heart is really racing. And I would say the whole next day I was just extremely exhausted, and I just had like such a bad, like kind of a bad vibe all the next day. I just felt so like out of it, and like still kind of scared, like kind of like at the aftermath, like just being scared. And I had called my husband because he was at work, and I had said, you know, hey, like, you know, what happened? And he's like, you were just pointing and screaming your head off. And he's like, you know, I figured you were just like like you were sleeping, but you were like dreaming while you were awake kind of thing. And I was like, so we didn't have a conversation? He said no. And that freaked me out even more, because we had a full-blown conversation here about, in my mind, about, you know, what I had thought had happened. And I told him to even feel my heart. And I remember him feeling my heartbeat and him going, wow, that's really fast. That's really fast. You need to slow it down. Never happened. When I was a kid, and I'll tell you guys another story because I'm at 5 minutes here. When I was a kid, I used to sleepwalk kind of a lot, and I would talk in my sleep, and I did like a lot of weird things. Now, I'm a Virgo, so I have a lot of anxiety, just like probably anybody else who lives on this planet, because I feel like everyone has anxiety, especially if you're American, right? But I mean, I can tell you, I've always had like kind of bad anxiety. Like I would bring home every single textbook that I had, even if we didn't go over the subject that day, just because what if my teacher assigned an assignment and I missed it, which is ridiculous, right? And I would have to like write everything in my assignment notebook that we'd have, and God forbid if my mom didn't sign it, I would freak out, because we'd have to have our parents sign our assignment notebook to prove that we showed our parents like what homework we had and stuff. And if you didn't sign it, then you would like not get your points or something. And it was really dumb. But I mean, that stuff like gave me, like, I couldn't fall asleep because I was so like, oh my God, what if my parents didn't sign it? What if I didn't do all my assignments? Like, I can like happily like report now that I've gotten over a lot of that like irrational like kind of fear. But you guys, like, I think my anxiety played a huge role into the sleepwalking and the sleep talking. So anyways, when I was in, I would say 7th grade, I was like 13. My mom had this like Nokia flip phone. It was all white, and it had like pre-recorded like Johnny Cash, like from the movie. I want to say it was in 7th grade. Johnny Cash, he like the movie, and it had some like of his like quotes in there. And I remember one of the quotes, like, that was like a ringtone, was like, what's with the black? It looks like you're going to a funeral. And Johnny Cash goes, well, maybe I am. Like, they just had like different like quotes like that. And I remember like she would set the ringtones to certain people's like, you know, who would call her, so you know who it was. So I remember the Johnny Cash thing. I've never actually seen the movie, and I don't really even know who Johnny Cash is, but I just remember that was like, he had a few different quotes that came with the phone. Anyways, my mom had this like phone, and it was like super cool at the time, all white. I really liked it, and I remember like thinking, I was like, cool, anytime I got a call, like talk to somebody on the phone. That was a cell phone, because I'm old. Anyway, my mom would charge her phone in the kitchen, because back then people like still used alarm clocks, and they didn't use like their phones to, you know, wake them up in the morning. And my mom would leave her phone downstairs in the kitchen. Well, the night before, like, so that night, everyone went to sleep, and I was sleepwalking a lot at that point, to the point where my mom would hide like the car keys and stuff, because she didn't want me to like accidentally like, because I, you know, you have driving dreams, or at least I did. She didn't want me to like get in the car and like crash or something, because it happens. So she came downstairs the next day, and she had heard me like walk around, and I would usually like walk around, and then I'd just like go back up to my room and fall asleep, or I'd fall asleep on the couch or something. Well, my mom the next day like goes downstairs, and she's like, where's my cell phone? And we are looking all over for her cell phone, and she didn't even think that like maybe I had something to do with it. But she's like, where's the cell phone? Where's the cell phone? Where's the cell phone? Can't find the cell phone. Can't find it. And like, I would say maybe 3 or 4 days passed and she can't find her cell phone. She's like, it's gotta be in the house. Like, I remember charging it. She's like thinking she's going crazy now. And it turns out I put the cell phone in the toaster. Sorry, Justin's calling me, you guys. I will talk to y'all later.